Someone who will break off when I get home. That's not the person like get my break off. So this one, really, I'm not gonna kill people. It's kind of close to my shoes too. Somebody is killing me. I'm here. Paper cloud. That's what I'm.
Okay, this meeting of the Board of Education is called to order. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight, and we'll get started by approving our agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda as printed? Hearing none, there's a motion on page 2, please.
President, I move that the Board of Education approve the agenda.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes, and we'll proceed with our agenda as presented and start where we always do with the superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Van Antwerp. These are always great nights when we can start off our presentations with students, so I'm going to ask our Director of Elementary Education, Dr. Kelly Jensenius, just to introduce our guests, or friends as we often refer to them in elementary school here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Board of Education and Mr. Edwards. Tonight we have our special guest for you under the direction of Sarah Wagoner, principal at Central L. She's got her crew here, or actually they would probably be the little Mustangs, who are going to come up here and do a little presentation for you tonight. So we'll invite you all up and do your thing.
Right.
All right, guys.
We're gonna come in front of that. A little tall for us, isn't it? All right.
There we go. All right, well, thank you for having us tonight. Each of these students here would like to help introduce their commercial that they made about our new school. So before we begin, I have 2 things to say. First of all, we are missing a friend who fell ill getting off the bus tonight, Lucas, and so we want to just, well, thanks. Madeline and Lucas were partners tonight, so she's a little worried, but she's going to do great, okay? Okay, and so Lucas, we wish you well. And I just want to say thank you to the board for all that you did to make our building come to life. It is absolutely amazing, and it feels like home now, and we are doing just fine. It is just like we've always lived there, so to speak. I mean, there are a few surprises every once in a while, but we work through them and we move forward, and I think all of these kids would agree that it's a pretty great place to learn and to be. So thank you very much for that. So before we show you our commercial, we're going to start by introducing it. So Shiloh, you may begin.
Good evening, members of the Board of Education and Superintendent. We are students from Central Elementary, and we are so excited to share something special with you tonight.
This year we moved into our brand new school building. It's amazing. Our classrooms are bright and flexible. The commons are great for group work. We wanted to show you what it's like to be a student in our new school. So we made a short commercial to give you a tour from our point of view.
We hope you enjoy it.
My name is Maya Alton. I'm kindergarten.
And what do you want to do today?
Show us you around my classroom.
Okay, go ahead.
This is where our calendar and where all of our tickets go. Here is the chairs that we can draw with. Here's where computers and our headphones go.
Where do you sit?
Oh, they let us sit wherever we want.
Okay, where do you like to sit?
I sometimes like to sit wherever my best friend sits.
And what's your favorite part of the new building?
I think it's actually the playground.
Okay. Lots of kiddos love the playground. What's your favorite part of the playground?
It might be on the big playground where there's that thing that goes around and around and around.
My name is Marty, and the favorite place I love about the new school is the Commons. It's so fun to sit on, and it's a great workspace.
My name is Shiloh, and I'm in 5th grade. I was really talking with some of my friends, and then we were all saying like how we're the oldest at the building, and how it's somewhat of a shame that we're not going to be here next year. But at the same time, if we ever do grow up and have kids ourselves, and this place is still open, we could be like, hey, this school is pretty cool.
Would you like your own kids to go here someday?
Yeah.
My name is Emilio, and I'm going to do a tour of the library. I like how we have the option to read outside. Out here, that's the door we go out to, and they have like those little tables you can read on. And then there's this nook where you have the option to read. So back there is all the chapter books. And over here is where my favorite nonfiction books are.
My name is Lucas and I'm in kindergarten. And I like that, this, and that green thing, and also I like this whole playground, and also I like my look of the plants. I think that's all.
And that's it.
I want to thank all the students as well as the parents, and if there are any board questions or comments.
I have a quick one. Does your bunny have a name? No? It's very awesome. Yeah.
I'd also like to say there are 3 teachers here supporting their students tonight, so I want to thank them for being here as well. Oh, there's 2 supportive eyes, and one more, Mrs. Richardson over there. So.
I was going to say recognize their names so they can stand up.
Absolutely. There's Mrs. Sarah Garrett, Ms. Chris Wick, and Laura Richardson. So thank you for coming.
Shiloh, I wanted to say that I was really impressed that you were already talking about being sad because you wouldn't be able to be back at the school next year, and then looking so far forward that you would love to have your own kids go to school there. I think that's really just great.
Super great. Yeah. Any other questions for our kids?
All right.
Somebody's got to ask Marty a question. He haven't answered.
He seems very confident, so that's good. That's a good thing.
It's great. Thank you for having me.
I believe we got a picture last time with Haverhill students, so it'd be okay if we can get a picture with the.
One more picture, celebrities? Oh, by the way, we started a new thing at school where we're doing a news crew every morning for our announcements. And we got to share your video with the whole school this morning on the news. And what were the kids saying to you?
We're celebrities.
Yeah. They wanted their autographs and everything. So.
Yeah. To sign his binder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, and one of our teachers was like, hey guys, if you want to make money, you better sign their autograph.
Yeah,
Mr. Golsky said that.
All right, shall we have a
NIL money here.
We'll face the
Audience.
You go right across. Oh, that's right, you.
We're going to put you in front. I wasn't here.
Yes, you get to go in front.
I was on my way.
I will stand up back.
Come on.
All right, peeps, now you get to come right here.
Squish it, squish it, squish it here, sir. Yeah.
Come on over, guys.
All right, Emilio, Marty.
Great.
Hi, back.
You're right up there. There you go.
This is where you get to the celebrity.
Uh-oh, you might want to come up front, Mary.
But I'm not a celebrity. That's the celebrity line.
Let's see, okay, I think I got everybody. Great.
Parents, you can get your photo too if you want to get center stage.
Thank you for coming, kids.
Celebrity.
Thank you, sir.
One more. Okay.
Thank you. Send it to you.
Thank you.
Good job.
I don't know. Tonight, to know.
What's on the agenda? What's next?
You have our permission to stay, but
Bye.
good job, Marty.
So it's always great to have our students a part of our board meetings, but also that video will be shared out publicly on the social media side as well. So a tough act to follow, Russ Gerber's.
I got to follow that. All right, just a quick update on construction. Mr. Edwards, Superintendent Edwards, the board. Kind of looking through the buildings, Central Haverhill, they're both opened up. Kids are in them, as you know. But at Central, we're still finishing up the commissioning of the building, making sure the HVAC is running as appropriate. So they're going through that system right now and making some adjustments, and anything they find that's not quite working right, they fix it and adjust that. So that's they're going through that right now, and they're actually making the diagrams where we can control the building remotely and all that stuff, the building management system. So the building is obviously function per board guidelines in terms of heat and cooling, but this gives us more control once we have that full dashboard operational. So they're working through that. And then their OAK is working through the punch list. As you see, more and more stuff gets completed, that materials that weren't in on time or different things are now getting finished up, but none of that affects occupancy. So that is going well at Central. At Haverhill, same thing, commissioning process is going on, and that's going smooth over there. They are finishing up the back of the building, the landscaping. Got a little behind there, but they are focused on getting that finished up this week. So you should see that be finishing up here shortly. And then they're also working through some of their punch list items over there at Haverhill. Woodland, obviously we talked last week, or 2 weeks ago, that the block was getting laid and things were going on. If you go over there now, you can start seeing some of the construction wings being completed, and I'll have pictures and all that stuff for next week's, 2 weeks from now's presentation. I'll get you some good pictures of that. But the block's going up, they're moving right along with the block. They actually have the plumbing coming through as well. So they're getting some of the roof drains put in, as well as some of the plumbing for the bathrooms are all getting done. And then the steel work, and you'll see steel columns everywhere going up there. So they're working right along through Woodland. It's coming along nicely. Going good. I'm not going to say on schedule or off schedule anymore, but it's going good. And just a couple of things, just to give you some insight of looking forward. We got a couple building and site projects we started working on. Steve Phelps and I are working through a 5th Street lighting project to modernize the 5th Street lighting to get away from the incandescent bulbs that are in there that are going to stop producing here soon, so we'll be in trouble if we don't have that lighting switched over to LED, as well as a generator over at West Middle School to be able to make sure all the light safety stuff, as well as the freezer and refrigerator for food service is operational, and then all the tech closets. So if we do lose power, they still have the internet and phones and all that stuff in that building. So we're working on that right now. So, but that's just in the preliminary stages of planning and putting out the documents, getting those ready to go out to bid here in a couple months. So you'll probably see me February-ish for board approval on a bid for those coming up. That's it. Is there any questions? Okay, I'm out of here. I'll see you in a little bit.
And just at the conclusion of the superintendent report is our financial report. Our director of finance is not here today, but she did leave a one-page or two-page summary of the numbers. And just so that the board is aware and the community is aware, our state legislators did pass a budget after their October 1 deadline, but we're still able to provide within that budget free meals for all students regardless of their income levels. We're still working through some of the elements in terms of the details related to the budget and its impact with Portage Public Schools. At our next board meeting, Paula will come back and do a report or an analysis from our audit. Our audit is done by a third-party consultant, and so that'll happen at our next board meeting. But essentially, there was a lot of alarm throughout the state about whether or not state aid payments were going to arrive on time and all of that. So the state did guarantee that the payments did come through. We were fortunate as a school district where we didn't have to borrow any money to meet payroll or any of those types of things. So Paula just wanted to assure the board that we're moving in the right direction, and there'll be a more comprehensive report at the next board meeting. All right, and that concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Probably not as good as Paula, but I'll try.
Well, very good, Johnny. Thanks a lot. You did it. We will move to our comments and communications section. Our secretary will read our guidelines for public comment. Thank you.
Public comment at board meetings. Board of Education meetings are held for the purpose of conducting the business of the school district. The board recognizes the importance of letting the public express themselves on district matters and welcome community input at our board meetings. To permit fair and orderly public expression, please conform to these guidelines when addressing the board. Attendees must register their intention to speak during the public participation portion of the meeting by completing the speaker registration form at the beginning of the meeting. Individuals may not register others to speak. Speakers will be recognized by the presiding officer and may not be called in the order in which they have signed up to speak. Speakers are requested to state their name, address, and group affiliation if applicable. Limit comments to 3 minutes. Direct all comments to the board and not to staff or to other participants. Speakers may not yield any of their speaking time to others. Provide a written copy of your comments and supporting documentation to the board secretary if available. Present your comments in a respectful and courteous manner to model the behavior expected of Portage students. Refrain from mentioning any student or individual by name. Contact the superintendent directly regarding personnel matters. The board has a legal obligation to protect the due process rights of students and employees. Typically, concerns raised by speakers during public comment are best addressed through the established chain of command. Board policy delegates resolution of operational concerns to the superintendent for further action.
Thank you, Terry. And we have one speaker tonight. Welcome, Stephanie. Stephanie, can you pronounce your last name for me?
Alkire.
Alkire, thank you.
I'm Stephanie Alkire, and I live on Lightlear. And sorry, I have bad eyes. So I'm here today to request that the board consider allocating additional funding to support the hiring of a full-time activities director at Portage Northern High School. I've already met with the superintendent regarding this issue and was informed that budgeting and staffing decisions fall under the principal's responsibility. While I've not received a response back from the principal, I believe this matter warrants broader district-level attention and support. Currently, Portage Central High School offers 53 student clubs, sponsored by a dedicated activities director. In contrast, Portage Northern only has 27 clubs, so 50%, with no such position in place. This disparity is especially concerning given the socioeconomic differences between the two schools. 31% of Portage Northern students come from low income compared to 16% at Portage Central. Extracurricular activities are essential to student development, fostering leadership, community engagement, and personal growth. Without an activities director, Portage Portage Northern lacks the infrastructure to expand club offerings and provide equitable opportunities to its students. It's not reasonable to expect students, particularly those of low income, to travel to Portage Central to participate in clubs. Equity across the district must go beyond equal distribution. It must reflect the unique needs of each community. Portage Northern serves a significantly higher percentage to low-income students and faces greater challenges in providing access to extracurricular opportunities. To truly support student engagement and development, Portage Northern requires additional funding, not just equal resources. Investing in a full-time activities director is a critical step towards building robust extracurricular programming that meets the needs of all students and ensures that no school is left behind due to socioeconomic disparities. So what I want to add to this is like an example of my daughter. She wanted to join HOSA, which is a health organization where you go and do competitions if you are interested in being a doctor or a nurse. Okay? There is not a club, she's a sophomore, there is not a club at Northern. So she learned of the club from a Portage Central student. We had to push very hard to get her to be able to join the Portage Central Club. She joined the Central Club. However, to get her here, she needs to, first of all, we had to work with our schedule to try to figure out one of us to get her here. And she needs to leave school early because of the outside here. It's so crazy, right? She can't, the first day we didn't pull her out early. She didn't even make it to the club because traffic was so bad. So last week we pulled her out early to go to the club, and then she was marked absent for the entire last segment of her school day, even though she only left 10 minutes early, right? So we are lucky that we are able to get her here, and she's really enjoying it, but it makes me sad that we don't have those opportunities at Northern. And when I've talked to the counselors, they just don't have the bandwidth, okay? They don't. So whereas Nikki Smith here at Central, she is fully dedicated to support extracurricular activities, including drama, including HOSA, including DECA, right? And just to give you an example of how transportation is such an issue for Portage Northern students, my daughter's on the water polo team, okay? It's a muskie team, okay? Last year, there were 24 students on that. 21 of them were with Central. 3 were from Northern. Why is that? Because where are the practices? The majority of them are here. It's right after school. Kids could not get there, okay? These kids do not have a stay-at-home parent who can transport them to these activities. And that's why we don't have the clubs, and kids can't get to Central to access those. So I'm not asking you to just pass it over to the principal. I'm saying give him the support to make this, reality so that these kids have just as much opportunity because they are just as deserving as Portage Central students. So thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Do we have a copy of your
Yes, I
remarks?
do. Sorry.
Well, thank you for coming out tonight and speaking. We appreciate it. Thank you. Are there any comments from board members this evening?
I would just want to say I am so thankful for our fine arts programs here at both Portage Northern and Portage Central. This past Saturday, Northern hosted the Husky Invitational for marching band. I wasn't able to attend because I was up at East Kentwood with Portage Central's band. My daughter took priority, sorry. But I was so impressed looking at many of the bands that were Class A, like our program, and the bands were tiny by comparison. And we're talking 8 or 10 color guard. Portage Central fields 33 color guard, and then adds to it in the last little bit. Yes, it's a big different number in the differences. It was almost not fair just to see the differences. And yeah, I know that both our programs are phenomenal, and I am so thankful to have that at our schools. I'm also looking forward to seeing Alice at Heart soon, and I hope I get to see similar programs at Northern very quickly. I need to get them on my calendar.
Thank you, Kimberly. Anyone else?
I'll jump in, Randy. Thank you. So earlier in the meeting, somebody from at or near the podium thanked us for the new buildings. And as a trustee, I always find that's a little awkward because all we did was say that the proposal had merit enough to put on the ballot, but the real people who should be thanked are the community. And in 2 weeks, we have another opportunity. The community will have a decision in front of it, and we'll have another opportunity to thank them for participating and giving us an answer to that. I'd like to thank my colleagues for the extra time today for the retreat. You know, we get into the weeds, but those are very good sessions. And I'd like to thank our speaker, community member who spoke from the podium tonight. And it was that individual also attended a listening session several weeks ago. It was good to meet you there. So thanks for being engaged.
Thanks, Bo. Anyone else? I'd just like to acknowledge this is America's Safe Schools Week. And it's a week that promotes school safety and security. And I just want to thank our administrators for the way they focused on this, and particularly Dr. Pasco, who's led in this area. And it's so important, and they deserve recognition, and we need to keep focused on it. So just wanted to say thank you. And with that, we can go to the consent agenda. We have 2 items on there tonight. The Committee of the Whole work session minutes from October 6th, and we've been asked to approve the July 2027 Portage Northern High School student trip to Switzerland and Italy as presented, and that was presented to us last week. Are there any exceptions to the consent agenda as presented? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. Thank you.
This is not an objection. I'm just excited to hear more about the trip to Switzerland and Italy after the students get to do it.
Right, for sure. All right, our next item is our discussion items. Those begin on page 17, and it's the owner's rep contract renewal.
All right. Our Assistant Superintendent, Russ Kerber, will walk the board through the recommendation.
Good evening, Board and Superintendent again. Happy to be here to bring the recommendation to renew Plant Moran's Real Points contract. We're going to extend it for an additional year. The total cost will be $283,632 for that year period. This will be covered from the 2025 bond, but it's Series 3 from the 2021 vote. It's a little confusing there, but it was the vote taken in 2021. We get money in series. This will be coming out of the Series 3 funds, which we will be pulling this year. A little bit of background about Plant Moran. Right now, Portage Public Schools contracts with 4 different firms. We have Tower Pinks, our architects, OAK, our construction, and Fielding International is really our educational consultants on the new way we're educating students. And then Plant Moran is considered our owner's rep, and what they do is they're there to help guide us when we enter in contracts with various vendors, to help watch the building as being built, to make sure things are done to code, and make sure we're getting a good product in the end. This is my first time working with an owner's rep. Usually the districts I worked for in the past, we just did it ourselves. There is value in having an owner's rep in terms of they're able to spend a little more time going through everything with fine-tooth comb and really making sure nothing is missed. I've been working with Ron. He's been one of our people from Plant Moran that's been working with us. It's gone really well so far for the first 2 months. Want to extend it for 1 more year. Obviously, we have a big vote coming up in November, so we want to keep it extended for that 1 year to see how that vote turns out, as well as just see how comfortable I am with working with an owner's rep after doing it for an entire year. As I'm new to Portage, I really get to learn Portage for another year to see how that relationship grows and see what the need is for the district after the end of that year. So that's where we're kind of coming to you guys for that renewal. The contract we've been working with, the previous contract was a 44-month contract. It expires at the end of this month. So this contract would start November 1st and go all the way through October 31st of next year. So is there any questions on that I can answer?
I think we got to have an owner's rep, and the one we have is a good owner's rep. So if the board is amenable to it, we can this evening. There's a motion to bring this item to action on page 17, please.
President Van Antwerp, I move that the Board of Education move the discussion item, owner's representative contract renewal, to action.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of moving this item to action, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The item is moved to action, and we now need the motion, please.
President Van Antwerp, I move that the Board of Education approve as presented the contract renewal with Plant Moran Real Point LLC for a total cost of $283,632 for a one-year period, November 1, 2025 through October 31, 2026, the funds for which will come from the 2025 bond fund, the third series from the 2021 vote.
Thank you, Terry. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I mean, just a quick final comment. I do think our owner's rep has added value, and I think it's especially noteworthy to approve this, given Russ's newness, so really appreciate it.
Well, and we were here when we didn't have an owner's rep, and we were doing a lot of construction, and we can see the advantage of having an owner's rep. Yeah, yeah, Very good. All in favor of approving the owner's rep contract renewal, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, and the owner's rep contract is renewed. Our next discussion item is the purchase of pianos and equipment, and it's Russ again.
First off, thank you for approving the owner's rep. There's a little weight off my back. I'm going to have a support for the next years and see how it goes. It is appreciated. The next recommendation is for the purchase of music equipment for a total of $70,673 from the 2019 unallocated contingency bond funds. So this is money, so 2019, we finished all the projects we wanted, there was a little bit of money left over, and that's what's going to be paying for these musical instruments that consist of 3 digital pianos, percussion cabinetry, and marching drums. If you remember, a couple months ago, you guys approved the first purchase of musical equipment through an RFP process. These items actually weren't bid on during that process. So what they did is the curriculum department worked closely with the band directors as well as the purchasing department and went out and found companies that had, oh man, I'm drawing a blank on these things. What are they called? Consortium pricing. And then, so these are all going to be purchased through consortium pricing, which means it's already been out to bid already, and we're just buying through that consortium contract. So it was a good, they worked closely with the music department to make sure they're getting exactly what they needed for each of their departments, and ensuring that as kids start in kindergarten and work their way through high school, that they have the appropriate instruments at the right age. Many of these kids, well, not many, but a few of these kids wouldn't be able to do band without the district provided instruments, and some of the instruments are very costly. So having the district being able to flip the bill on some of those really costly instruments is important, so all kids can have a experience of doing the fine arts in terms of music and things like that. So that's the recommendation. This is I'd say part 2. We got one more we're working towards, just finishing up a couple pianos. It sounds like they're just kind of going back and forth on exactly what they're looking for in those pianos. But we got these numbers and we want to get these in so we can get them in the hands of kids as soon as possible. But you should see me one more time for some more musical instruments.
Is the board agreeable to move this item to action? Sure. Yes. Very good. There's a motion to do that on page 22, please.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education move the discussion item, purchase of pianos and equipment, to action.
Thank you.
Second.
There's a second? Okay. All in favor of approving the purchase of pianos and equipment, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes, and the pianos and equipment are on the way.
Thank you.
Certainly, thank you.
We move to action.
What?
Moved it to action.
Oh, I didn't do it twice? Oh, thank you. We need a motion to approve.
Mr. President.
It's too early.
I move that the Board of Education approve as presented the purchase of pianos and equipment totaling $70,673, the funds for which will come from the 2019 unallocated contingency bond fund.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Very good. All those in favor of purchasing the pianos and equipment, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes, and, well, let's just say that's done. All right.
Thank you.
Now it's done.
Our next discussion item is the purchase of interactive flat panels. Steve Van Dyke, I guess, is going to help us with this one.
Yes.
Thank you, Board Trustees and Superintendent Edwards. Dr. Miller sends his regrets, and instead you get me tonight, so we'll try to do this justice here. But before you tonight is a proposal for the order of 6 smart interactive flat panels for the amount of $31,320.90. Also taken out of the what we call the 2025 bond fund, the 3rd series from the 2021 vote. The purpose for these flat panels is to help with basically early adoption at Woodland Elementary School. That is the school that is under construction, obviously, right now, and the next school to move. And as we've seen excitement from these smart panels being placed into Central Elementary School and Haverhill Elementary School, we want to keep on that momentum there and working with our curriculum team and working with our operations folks. We felt that this was a very smart and prudent move to do at this juncture, so we can help ride that momentum and help with that training over time. With these flat panels, we're seeing that not only are they durable and they're well received so far, but also warranty has been is favorable to us, and as technology changes over time, the panel can stay, which is obviously the more expensive piece, but then we can slot in new computing technology into the panel over time. So over the lifespan of, say, 15 years of this panel, we could have 3 cycles of actual computing technology placed into that panel. Another high point that we're seeing right now as well is that SMART is partnering with us to provide on-site and remote training. We actually have them on-site tomorrow at or at one of our elementary schools, and then they'll be on-site later this month at one of our other elementary schools, just to help with meeting with our educators one-on-one and to help them with their questions and show them the most efficient use of this technology. This was selected through consortium pricing through the RMSI bid save process, so that was already competitively bid in the past. And if the board so wishes, we would request for this approval tonight if possible. So I welcome any questions.
So these will be installed in the old Haverhill.
That is correct. So they'll be in where Woodland is housed right now. They'll be installed there, and then when they move back to Woodland new Woodland Elementary, we will move those smart panels with them to that elementary school. So this was a purchase that we were going to make, a year or so down the line here. We're just going to move that up to help with training.
Very good. Is there support to bring this item to action?
Yes.
There's a motion on page 24 to do that, please.
President Van Antwerp, I move that the Board of Education move the discussion item, purchase of interactive flat panels, to action.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of moving the purchase of the interactive flat panels to action, please say aye. Aye. The motion passes, and now we need the motion to approve, please.
Okay. Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve the purchase of 6 Smart RX interactive flat panels from Forte Incorporated in the amount of $31,320.90. The funds for which will come from the 2025 bond fund, the 3rd series from the 2021 vote, as presented.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
I will second this one.
Very good. Thank you. All those in favor of approving the purchase of the interactive flat panels, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. And we have completed our agenda. I just need board self-assessments from the trustees. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank you for that donation.
I
That was so thoughtful of you.
I just love that I got that